Good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar. We're going to be discussing Microsoft 365 security today. My name's Martin. I'm the Technical Support Manager here at SMS, and we're going to be discussing the topic today. So this is a summary of what we're actually going to be going into today on what areas that we're going to be covering. So we're going to be discussing what multi-factor authentication is, what self-service password reset is, and then we're going to move on to some add-on premium services that you can purchase to supplement the existing 365 accounts that you have. So these are going to be Windows Defender for 365, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, Microsoft Enterprise Mobility and Security, Azure Information Protection, and Intune. So to get started, we're going to discuss multi-factor authentication and what it actually is. We have discussed this in previous webinars. For people that don't know what this is, I'm going to now explain to everyone actually what this actually does. So in terms, it's called MFA for short, and what this basically does is it's an additional layer of security for Office 365 or your Microsoft 365 account. You'll still have a password to sign into your account, but what this does is it reduces the risk of any security breaches or unauthorized access to your account, because it requires what's known as a key or a token to sign in. So the way that this works is there is multiple ways that you can actually get the code or the token to sign in. The preferred way is with the Microsoft Authenticator app, which you can download from both iOS and Android stores. And this will push an alert to your device to say, do you authorize this sign in? You click authorize, and then it will either use one of the biometric controls such as Face ID or fingerprint recognition to sign in. If you prefer not to use that method, you can just enter the code on screen when it asks you to. And it's the same for, you can do it via text message and phone call. So it'll either text you a code or it'll call you with a code. The phone option where it rings you is an option that has to be enabled though. But that's something that we can discuss with you. That's the feature that you want turning on. Any authenticator app will work. So if you prefer to use the Google one, you can still add the code to that. However, obviously the preferred one is the Microsoft one, because you get the push alerts on that where you don't with any others. And it's once the service is enabled, it just simply works. Any sort of third-party client that you have, and there is more and more that are supporting 365, but there is still some out there, things like scan to email or CRM systems, anything that requires an email address and password to sign in so it can actually use your email service to send email. You would need what's known as an app password, and all that is a secure password that allows you to sign in and authenticate onto your account, and that's something that can be added via your actual account itself. You just sign in, and there's a security area where you can create an app password, but that's basically it. Any issues you have with it though, we are here to assist with that. So one of the other features of 365 that many people aren't aware of is this thing called self-service password reset, SSPR. Now this feature is off by default. It's a hidden feature inside Azure Active Directory that you have to turn on in order for it to actually work. The reason that it's off is because you have to go through 2 verification processes per user to use this service. So what this basically allows you to do is, when you go to the login screen for 365, if you've forgotten your password, it allows you to click forgot password, and it will actually go through a reset for you to try and reset that. Now, the 2 methods that it needs you to set up to verify it's you is you need to add a phone number to your account and another email address, and it has to be a non-365 that's a new existing account. So you could use like a Gmail or an Outlook or a Yahoo address, something like that, or an alternative address that you may have with another provider. That will be fine. Once them 2 bits of information are actually in there, it will allow you to go through a password reset online, and it just guides you through. You just follow the on-screen instructions. This service can actually be enabled for all users, or you can enable it for selected users. So if you only want, say, senior management or managers or the board to have access to this, you can choose to put selected users to have the ability to do that, and then the rest of the users would have to contact an IT admin or whoever's in charge of managing your passwords for your organization. And that's basically it. That's the whole self-service password reset option. So we're going to move on to doing some of the premium services now that are available on Microsoft 365 stroke Office 365. And these just benefit and supplement the service that you've already got to enhance the experience that you get from the overall Microsoft experience online. So one of the features and one of the add-ons that you can get is a service called Microsoft Defender for Office 365, which was formerly called ATP, or Advanced Threat Protection, as some people may have heard it called before. And all this basically is an advanced anti-malware, anti-phishing and anti-spam service. Now, the one that you get with your mailbox as standard without this service on, it works perfectly fine. There's no issues with it. This is effectively like an anti-spam system on steroids. It effectively it uses multiple scanning engines to look out for potential threats, such as zero-day attacks, things like that. It's completely real time, so everything is monitored and reported in real time to you. And it really sort of steps up the basic protection that you get with your mailbox to a more advanced service, because it could scan 30 engines and they all could say the message is clean, but then there's the 31st engine. It could say, well, actually there's just been a threat that's been launched, and this particular mail contains it. So it gives you more sort of more protection for your organization and your users, basically. But two of the key features of Defender for 365 is the ability to do things what's known as safe links. Now, safe links is a way of scanning all email links or URLs inside an email that you receive, and basically this will prevent people from going onto dodgy sites, basically, or sites that can contain malware or threats. So you will get the link in the email. It will be renamed to safelinks. And then there's a Microsoft address. It's quite a long address that it automatically generates. If the user clicks on this link, if this link is a threat, you will actually get a screen in your browser that says this link is harmful. And it stops you dead, basically. You can't go it won't let you continue. So it stops the threat being targeting your machine or potentially your network. Now, if it's a clean link, then the web page will just load and you won't have any issues whatsoever. You won't get any warnings or anything. Now, obviously, there's going to be times where you click on a link that is genuine and the service thinks that it's not. Now, from an admin perspective, you can actually create what's known as an allowed list. So if you've got a certain amount of sites that you use on a regular basis, we probably recommend that you add these to the allowed list. So then you're not going to have any issues with connecting to sites, and you're not going to affect any productivity in the business, basically. So that is an option as well. And as well, you can add stuff to a ban list as well. Now, safe attachments is pretty much the same thing, but it said it scans the attachments itself. So you can, with this, it'll scan all attachments that come in for malware. If it's malware, it'll literally strip it out and delete it. But it scans it first of all. Now there's several, from an admin perspective, when you configure it, you can choose several options. You can have it to be deleted. You can have it to be sent to an admin for verification. One of the new features in it, which is currently in preview, is the ability that it will send you the email, but it strips out the attachment, and the attachment gets scanned in the background. And if it's deemed as clean, it reattaches it to the email. If it's not clean, it will notify you to say it's a virus, basically. So that is one benefit of using this particular service, and another benefit as well. It doesn't just protect your email data; it also protects things like SharePoint. So any libraries that you've got in there, any sort of files that you store in SharePoint will be protected. Anything in OneDrive for your personal documents will be protected, as well as Teams. So if you're getting links from suppliers or whatever, and they could send you a potentially dodgy link, it does happen. This service will basically scan for that and prevent any sort of unauthorized or any sort of compromisation of sites and things like that. So it is a benefit that worth having this particular add-on enabled. So there's two plans on this. There's the plan 1 and plan 2. Plan 1 literally comes with everything I've just mentioned. It protects your email from zero-day malware, phishing, and business email being compromised. The only difference between plan 2 is more for a large organization, because it adds sort of like investigative tools and things like automation and simulation, so you can simulate what an attack would do to your company, basically in real time. And there's a lot more reporting as well. This, like I say, this plan is really for people that want sort of like the best of the best, or they're a larger company and they want to have full reporting where they can see every single bit of detail about what comes in and what's being scanned and things like that. So another Microsoft Defender product is called Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. And this basically is an enterprise security platform which is designed to help enterprise networks prevent and detect, as well as investigate and respond to advanced threats that may occur within your organization while using the Office 365 and Microsoft 365. So it's more and more for larger organizations. However, we do have smaller companies that do use this because they want a premium or a more advanced security product for their business to prevent any threats or intrusions, that kind of thing. Some of the key benefits, if you're a Windows user using Windows 10 or 11, is it'll do things like endpoint behavioral sensors, which are something that's built into Windows 10 and 11. It'll also do cloud security analytics, so you can analyze real-time data for the actual endpoint service itself, and it also has threat intelligence. So it's quite clever how it can learn, basically. So that's one of the key benefits, or three key benefits, if you're using Windows service. These are the some further key features of the Defender for Endpoint product. So it does things like threat and vulnerability management, attack surface reduction, next generation protection, endpoint detection and response, automation, investigation and remediation, advanced threat experts, and it also comes in Plan 1 and Plan 2. If you have any sort of questions regarding both Defender products, so Endpoint or the one for 365, please do call our sales team, or you can call our support team if it's something on a technical nature. We can assist with any questions that you have regarding this, and we can obviously advise what suits your business. We'll ask you a few questions regarding that and what you actually do, and then we can advise on details regarding that to make sure you get the best plan available for your needs, basically. So another product that you can also look at potentially taking out on 365 is a service called Microsoft Enterprise Mobility and Security. Now this really is for mobile remote workers. It is effectively an intelligent mobility management security platform, and basically what it does, it effectively brings together mobile device management and mobile application management together. So basically it's effectively a service that will allow greater protection and detection of your mobile workforce or remote workers. It also increases security features which are in Windows 10 and 11, as well as Microsoft 365. And one of the benefits is system management software for managing on-premise PCs, servers and mobile devices. So you can actually use it on a vast range of devices, and it comes in 2 plans as well. So these are some of the key features of EMS that you might want to look at, and like you say, if you have any questions regarding any of these products, please pick up the phone. We are here to help you with any sort of concerns or any queries that you have. We can assist that, but these are some of the key benefits. So you are going to get Azure Active Directory with it. You're going to get Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager. You're going to get Intune and Azure Information Protect, which are 2 products I will be discussing shortly. Microsoft Cloud App Security, Advanced Threat Analysis, Defender for Identity and Secure Score. That are some of the key features. There's several other features part of EMS as well, which we're more than happy to discuss with you for your business requirements. So Azure Information Protection, as I've just mentioned on the last screen, just briefly mentioned it. This service is one of the products that we do sell quite a bit of, and it might be something that your business might need. It's effectively a cloud-based solution that helps you secure email, documents, and any sensitive data that you share outside of your company. So, for example, you have a legal contract, or you have financial documents, or anything that you only want the person that you're sending it to be able to view, you can add what's known as labels or tags to the document. And what this basically does is you say, well, this document is sensitive or it's private or confidential. I only want these people seeing that document. So when they receive that message, they're the only people that can actually view it, because it's specifically, you've granted permissions for them and them only. So only their email address will be able to access the actual document itself. It's a key benefit service, especially if you are sending a lot of documents out, especially for people like, you know, solicitors or anything like real estate, medical documents, that kind of thing. So we are seeing more and more people use this service, but that's not the only thing that this service does. It also has the ability to encrypt emails that you send. Because the emails, when you send an email, it's only encrypted. It doesn't actually encrypt the message itself. It just encrypts the connection from A to B. So basically what this will do is it will encrypt the message. So when you send it, what that will then basically do, it will when they receive the message, they will receive an email that says, this is how you can view it. And they have to go through a verification process. And they're the only people that can view it because you're sending it to them. Another key benefit with this particular service as well is the fact that you can actually, when you send an email, you can say, I don't want this email to be forwarded on to anyone. So when you send that message to someone, the actual forward option on the email is grayed out, so they can't forward it to anyone. It can only be viewed by them. So that's another key thing you may want to look at if you are looking for more security on data that you're sharing outside of your organization. So now we've got Intune, and Intune is basically another cloud service that you can get, which works similarly with the mobile device management and mobile application management, similar to EMS, because EMS actually has Intune built into it. And what this basically allows you to do is control how your organization devices in the field or remotely, or however your users are working away from the office, or even in the office to a degree. But it will allow you to manage how they control access for things like mobile phones and tablets and laptops. You can actually configure specific policies which allow you to say, I don't want this person sending email externally from the company. I don't want them to be able to use the camera so they can take photographs of confidential information. You can actually lock down what they can do on their device, and it's multi-platform as well, so you can use it on iOS, Android, Windows, and Mac OS. It'll just work. You literally have to install like an agent for it to work. But once it's configured and set up, it just works in the background, and you have full control as an admin to manage how you want the users to access certain bits of your company's organization. So Intune for admins is basically, from an admin's perspective, this is the sort of thing that you can do with it. So you can basically do things like see devices which have been enrolled, so you can get a full inventory of all the devices accessing your organization. So it's good if you're doing an audit, you can actually see what devices are connected and which ones aren't. You can also, this is a bit more advanced stuff, this next one, you can configure devices to meet your security requirements or health standards. So you can block things like jailbroken devices or rooted devices, and all these basically is devices that are being unlocked to run anything, which allows you to run rogue software. And there is people out there that do this, because there's a lot of people that like modding stuff. But from a security perspective, there are risks, because if your device is jailbroken or rooted, it means they can be compromised, which is why a lot of apps such as banking apps won't run on a rooted device. It simply won't open. So you can basically make sure it meets your own security standards. Another benefit of Intune is you can push certificates and profiles to the device, which allow you to access company Wi-Fi. So when you walk into your office, you don't have to put a password in, because the actual device has already got the profile to connect to the Wi-Fi network. And you can do the same if you've got a VPN. So if you've got a site-to-site VPN that you use to gain access remotely to your office, you can actually do the same thing with that. You can push all the settings straight to the device. The user doesn't have to worry about anything other than connecting to the VPN, and that's basically it. And you can also see reports of devices that are compliant and not compliant, so you can then use that as part of your inventory and your analysis of what people have. And another benefit as well that people might not know is, you leave your phone on the train, You can basically say to your IT company, I've left the phone on the train. What do I do? No problem, we'll log in and remote it. As long as that's got an internet connection, we can send a delete command to reset the device and the data gets purged off the device. So it gives you a bit more security on that front. So we're just going to almost wrap this webinar up today. Like I say, how does SMS as a company fit into all this? So basically, SMS has been here since 2006. We are an everything in the cloud provider. We do sell not just email, we do other services like backup, web, domains. So if you want to basically have everything under one umbrella, so it's effectively one bill, which more and more people are doing these days, we are here to do that. So, I mean, we even sell phone services now because 365 offers a phone service. You might want to check out one of our other videos on that on Business Voice that covers the phone service that we do. So if you really want to have your whole organization with us from web to email and things like even CRM, then we're an all-stop shop for everything. So and that's basically what we're here for. We are here to sell products to our customers. We're here to help them with any issues that they may have. We are here to assist you setting up and supporting your users and your staff to make them sure they're operational. And we're fully UK based. We have been since day one. All the products that we sell, we either use on a day-to-day basis, or we've demoed and tried and seen how they work. So we're experienced on all the services that we do sell. And once again, reiterate, we are here and we are happy to help and listen to what your requirements are and help you achieve what you want to achieve within your organization. So if you need to contact us, if you've got any sales questions or you've got anything about products, for example, you want to migrate into us, or you want to know further details, I'd recommend that you call the sales team. And they can be contacted on 01925 818 448. But if you've got more of a technical question that you want to check just before you actually go through to sales, or you're an existing customer that wants to add one of these services on, but you're not sure how to do it, and you just need sort of like that technical sort of backup and that technical reassurance, then give us a call on 01925 818 252. And our website is simplymailsolutions.com. Existing customers can open a ticket at portal.simplyms.com. We do have a knowledge base which is kb.simplyms.com. There's a lot of information on there about how to set things up. Should you want to just have a quick look over it before contacting us, you're more than welcome to. It is open to everyone to view that. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel at smstv.simplyms.com. There is a lot of content on there. We do these webinars usually every fortnight. So it's basically, and then we put other content on there as well, so do subscribe to that for future updates. But I would like to thank everyone for watching today. I hope everyone's safe. I've been Martin, and take care, and I will speak to you soon.